Welcome to the Shut Up and Work podcast. I am your host, the coach. Along with me is SJ. And once again, we have Cristina Alva that is on the panel with us. And Cristina, what are we going to be discussing in this episode today?
Yeah, thanks, Coach. So today we're going to be talking about creating a side hustle. Um, a lot of people who work a 9 to 5 full-time job, it's not enough. They need a little bit more, or maybe they want to transition away from 9 to 5 and go full-fledged entrepreneur. But you start out small, build your business, and then you can do so appropriately how you see best for what you want to do to achieve your goals. So that's what we are going to be talking about today. A little background again for those who hear me for the first time. I am Cristina Alva, a career coach, author, speaker, and business coach. I run a mastermind group called Elite Level Minds, co-founder of the mastermind group, which is all about helping aspiring and seasoned entrepreneurs come into a safe space where they can share what they know and learn what they need. So I've done a lot of coaching for helping people develop a side job, and that includes like identifying ways that you can make money with the skills and talents and gifts that you have, and then, use it to build a business on the side or build a business to replace your 9 to 5.
Awesome. Awesome. So, side hustles. So, this is going to be part three for us. For those of you who are now listening in, part one, we kind of gave you an overview of what you can do as a side hustle. Part two, we talked about if you want to go the traditional route and pick up a second job. Now, Cristina Alva is going to give some more insights on how to develop a side hustle. And she may have some questions for me and SJ in this episode. So go ahead, Cristina.
Yes, thanks. So that's a good point. About 8 million Americans are working a second job, and that's a side hustle or a job where it's like Uber Eats, DoorDash, something like that, where they're doing something on the side from their main employment. But when it comes to some people say, well, I don't want to drive a car for, hours on end. I'm just not good driving, like myself. I'm not good driving. After 30 minutes, I'm done. And maybe, you don't want to work for somebody else. You want to control how much money you make. You want to set your own price. So I always tell clients, the first thing we want to do is just list out all the things you're naturally good at. If you're working a 9 to 5, there are a lot of skills and talents that you have developed over the years, and you can use those same skills and talents that you identify and create a nice business. I have one client who, for example, I don't want to say project management, but she coordinated all the trips for her boss. She coordinated all the trips, did all the planning, the hotel, the booking, made the reservations for restaurants. If multiple people were traveling, she kept all the dates, just did all the booking, all the planning, made sure they had everything they need, everything. She was in charge of his schedule. And so she has then worked with some more junior staff that have come in, and she's supposed to help train them. And she's just like, oh, it's so frustrating because they're not listening, or like, I just wish like we could formally train them. And she wanted to do a side hustle. She's like, in a perfect world, like I could just train people how to do this. And I was like, you ever thought about starting a business?
Mhm.
I would love for you to train a personal assistant for me, because that's what it sounds like, right? We could put a whole program together, have a course, sell the course for $1,500. And, one of the main complaints I hear people say is something like, well, if I put a course together to create personal assistants, let's just call it that,
Mhm.
and they say, but somebody's not going to pay $1,500 for the course. How do you know what people will pay for and what they won't? People rock $2,200 purses, right? Like it's just whatever is important to them. And I try to explain to her, like, your target audience isn't the person who's looking for a side hustle as a personal assistant. Your target audience is people like me, people who run businesses who need personal assistance, but can't find someone who's trained or qualified to handle my needs. Like I would pay the $1,500 for my person to come train under you, and then it's a win-win, right? So she didn't even think of it that way. It's like we're kind of limited in the way we think to what we've been exposed to. So what I do, like I said, just help people list out and see like what skills are you already doing that we could be monetizing.
Right. And that's a great point because, as I just stated, we talked about these other things that, you know, you could do as a side hustle. And now you just listed another important key thing is what are you already doing at your 9 to 5 job, what skills are you picking up or that you are putting to use every day that you could use outside of there? Now, that doesn't mean go and take the, if the company has some type of training brand, that doesn't mean take their brand and go run with it outside. It just means day-to-day skills, as you just mentioned, as a data analyst or a management assistant or something in that nature. So
Or what
if you,
skills are you not able to use at work that you really enjoy, you're good at, and you can monetize?
yeah.
That too, because I know a lot of people have skills that they get frustrated
Mhm,
because their workplace won't allow them to develop those skills or to put those skills to use because of the hierarchy and the bureaucracy.
mhm,
So maybe there's something that you would enjoy doing. Maybe you love taking pictures, you're good at photography, but
mhm.
there's really not any space for that in your current job. Well, this is something that you could develop as a side hustle.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great point, SJ. And yeah, let me say too, when you do use skills or talents or gifts or passions that you do in your 9 to 5 or don't do in your 9 to 5, again, you also want to make sure you clear that with your 9 to 5 and make sure there's no conflict of interest when you pick up a second job of any form. But yes, you're right in the sense that a lot of people tell me number one complaint, Christina, I hate my job. That's how we start, right? Christina, I hate my job. I need your help. And I always ask, like, why do you hate your job? Do you not like the people you work with? Do you not like the assignment that you're doing? It's not fulfilling. Or maybe you're just not meant to work for somebody else. You need the freedom and the voice and authority to make decisions for yourself, how you make your money, how much you make when you work, you know? So those are three reasons, but in the sense of you're not being fulfilled at your job, but you just happen to be really good at your job. So you're making a lot of money, you're in high demand,
Mhm,
but you still feel like something's missing. As SJ mentioned, that's a great place to pick up a side hustle where you get to do what you love, what fulfills you. And I'll call it passion. But
mhm.
a lot of people have skills that they do really well and make money off of, but it's not necessarily their passion. If you can marry your passion and skills, that's the sweet spot right there. But yes, you could always take what you like doing on the side and do it. When I first started, I was working after I got my degree, and I was working at a restaurant, popular restaurant. And
Okay.
I mean, it was good money, you know, money comes in every day, but I was looking for like a different job. But in the meantime, right, you still got bills to pay and stuff. So I was waiting tables, and I was like, well, what else can I do? And I've always had this mindset since I was a small child. And I was like, well, I just got this degree in math. Let me do something with that, right? I was waiting tables. Nobody cared about math. Well, I had to give people the right change. But other than that, I wasn't really using my math skills. And I have like an advanced degree in math. So I could go all the way up to college courses in math. And I thought, well, let me tutor. Somebody was talking
Oh,
about a child doing some homework and needed help. So I started tutoring, and that was a great side business. And I've helped people start tutoring companies,
mm,
right?
smart.
Right. And we always think too, like if I do this, if I'm tutoring, I can make money. That's my hour, X amount of dollars.
Mhm.
But you make more money teaching people how to do what you do than doing what you do.
Mm, great point.
So so for example, if I'm tutoring and I'm charging $100 an hour for tutoring, and in 1 week I've got like 5 appointments, 500 a week, 2,500 a month, great. But if I have a class where I charge $1,000 to show you how to start your own tutoring business, and I've
Mm,
got 20 people, I meet once a week. The same week, I just made $20,000.
mm, nice.
So
Nice.
it's just thinking outside of the box. But
Mm,
always, I say, if you're thinking about starting a side hustle, I'm a bit advocate for go, just stop thinking and start doing, right? But
yeah.
first, you want to just think about all your skills, everything that you do well. Think throughout your life. Anytime someone has said to you, wow, you're good at this, write that down, make a list. And also make a list of things that you like doing and you would enjoy learning more about, because you got to stay relevant and you got to stay knowledgeable about whatever it is that you're doing. Even in your 9 to 5, people are going to come in and replace you if you get old and dusty. Like, you got to stay knowledgeable about your skill, your talent, your craft.
Right.
If you want to stay a top performer, you want the bonuses and everything else. So just like in your 9 to 5, you start building a side hustle and
Mhm.
say, Another thing I do is write books. Say you want to write books, like I got to know, like, what are the techniques and methods people are using to write books? Like, what are the top selling books? What are the trends in the market right now? Like, you just have to stay learning. So if you pick something you're passionate about, you don't mind taking an online course or learning, investing in yourself continuously.
Great points. Great points. And I will say with me, what helped me become financially independent was the first thing. Of course, all of us, we like money because, hey, if you're born in America or any westernized country, first world country, capitalism runs the system. So you're going to like money no matter what people tell you or what the Bible says or anything in there. And the key is, I said like, not love. So I just want everybody to hear that. But anyway, when I was in debt and I was paying all these bills and stuff like that, I was thinking in my head when I used to try to write checks and make sure that the checks, I had enough money in the bank and the checks wouldn't bounce or anything when I was broke as a joke. I used to think to myself, like, damn, what if I could be like this bank? How can I make money like Wells Fargo or Bank of America or this credit union? And then when I went out to buy a car, I was always trying to pay attention and trying to read the fine print. When they hand you the contract that they're trying to get you to hurry up and sign because they're about to stick it to you. I was in there reading it. And I remember one time the finance guy was like, even he was getting upset because he was like, just sign the damn thing, so we can get out of here and I can get to the next customer. And I was like, no, I want to read this thing. So those were the things that kind of intrigued me because the way I saw these things in my mind now, and this is a disclaimer, the way I saw things, okay, I don't want everybody trying to tell everybody this is the way you should see it. The way I saw things was that they're creating money out of thin air. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, think about a bank and how it works. I mean, their lending ratio and how they make money is every $20, you put in the bank in your savings account, hell, they can lend almost $1,000 with that $20. So those type of things fascinated me because I was like, how are they able to create money out of thin air? How am I able to do that? And so that's why I looked into things like investing in real estate notes, as I wrote into my book, because you're creating a promissory note that, hey, I'm gonna loan somebody this money or I'm gonna front somebody this money and you're gonna pay me back with interest on this money that I loaned to you. So those were the things that were intrigued me in that situation. And also the major thing that intrigued me was time. Yes, I said it again, time. I wanted time to go do the things that I wanted to do. So I looked for what could I do that would allow me to have time. If I wanted to get up and drive home in the next couple of hours, I could do it. I'm not worried about, oh shit, I got to go call my job or I got to go do this or I got to go do that. If I want to go to a basketball game, I could go. If I want to go to this amusement park, I could go. If I want to go to this museum, I could go whenever I want to go. I'm not going because, oh, well, it's a holiday weekend. I have an extra day. Now I can go somewhere. Or I got to take off and ask my boss for permission to let me go somewhere. So those were the two things that drove me to do what I needed to do in order to get across that finish line to financial freedom.
Nice.
Mhm.
And I like how you're talking about, like, you were thinking of investing and how can you invest and what kind of sparked your interest and how you went down your path. I think that's a very valid point. Think of things that spark your interest, but a side hustle could be investing, right? There are a lot of people who just invest. They take money from their 9 to 5 that they make and they invest a little bit every month
Mm-hmm.
into different things. My
Yeah.
personal opinion, my personal preference would be real estate, but there's a lot of things you can invest in these days.
Yeah.
But
Most
do
definitely.
your homework.
Yeah.
Do
Do
your
your homework. Go talk to your financial advisors and whatever you're doing. And if you have a family, you're married, talk to your significant other. Let them know, hey, what you're trying to do, because maybe they can help. And maybe if you are sharing a household with a spouse or a significant other, they may even see certain things. They may notice certain things that you have a talent for. If you are a good cook, you may not think that you are a good cook, but your significant other, they didn't gain 150 pounds since you met them, and they like, ooh, can't wait till Hunter go in that kitchen and cook. I mean, and so another example, people who are very close to me have noticed, and I've even written this in my book, Shut Up and Work, Surviving Then Escaping the Workplace. My dad, I used to go round and round when he was still on this earth, God rest his soul. We used to go round and round. My dad was one hell of a landscaper. I mean, he can take a yard that looks totally horrible, that has nothing in it, no trees, no bushes, the grass is all dead and stuff, and he can make that thing lavish. In a couple of months, he can make your yard just lushful, and not even spending a whole bunch of money. But it's just something that he was just great at doing it. And I used to say, Dad, come on, you need to start a business. And he used to be like, nah, boy, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do this. And neighbors in our neighborhood used to come by and be like, hey, I need to plant a tree. Can you come over and help me? Because they didn't know what the hell to do. But my dad had that green thumb skill that he never took advantage of in that situation. So that's just an example. If you have that skill at something, meaning you know how to put both feet in it, and you just do it without even thinking, without even trying, and you just like, this is nothing to me, this is a piece of cake, then you may want to go out there and monetize that skill.
Yes.
So that's just my thoughts on that.
And in thinking, there's a lot that goes with starting a side hustle. Some people are like, well, should I start my LLC now? Should I not? What about network marketing? Should I do that? All of these different things are, things you can try. Look at what sparks your interest, because, you're going to put a lot of time in it. It's 10,000 hours to like become an expert in something, right? So you'll be doing this for years, hopefully. And the question of, do you just want it on the side, or do you want to grow it? You want to treat it like a hobby, you want to treat it like a business. And that will further lead to conversations about LLCs and how much does it cost and branding and all of that. But just for the ones who are listening, who are like, I've thought about starting a side business, but I just don't know where to start. I thought about maybe switching over to entrepreneurial life, but I just don't know where to start. Start with a list and just list out all the things that you do well, things that people have mentioned you do well, things that you're passionate about doing and you love doing because you'll spend a lot of time doing them. Think about the things that, you start doing and you just lose track of time doing them. Like, I can do math problems and I can do them all day, and I'm fine with it. And I love helping people understand math. I love when I see that light go off in their eye. And if I have a headache and I have to tutor, it's fine. I'll go tutor and I forget all about my headache because I'm doing what I'm passionate about. I'm a problem solver at heart, right? So it's math, helping people find businesses, helping people write books, whatever capacity where I can help someone bridge a gap between being over here point A and being over here point B, I'm all for it. And so more examples, I just wanted to spit some out for anyone listening who's like, oh, that's me. You mentioned cooking, had a client who was trying to figure out what she wanted to do. I was like, in the meantime, your cooking is amazing. I'm looking for a meal prep person. I know some people looking for meal prep. You ever thought about meal prep?
There you go.
Want to run the numbers?
Yep.
You cook all the time anyway, right? But I'll bring it somewhere, put it in somewhere, bring it to me. Another client who, trying to think real quick, a young man liked just doing his own thing, loves cars, realize when people travel out of town, they need cars. You could do your own rental car service. And that's exactly what he did. Bought his first luxury car, used all the money he made off that one to buy a second luxury car, to buy a third, to buy a fourth. I don't know how many cars he's up to now, but he just rents them out when people come into town. They'll pay for for vehicles and for different reasons, right? Maybe you're a high roller and you want a certain vehicle to drive around in that Enterprise car does not have, right? Or maybe you're shooting a music video because you're an artist, or you're doing a photo shoot because you're a photographer and you need certain things in your video. And so people rent luxury cars, and so that's a win-win. He gets to play with his luxury cars and rent them out, make money off of them, right? They pay for themselves. So marrying your passion and your skills, or finding a way to solve a problem for someone using your passion, skills, talents, gifts, that is the key. So just list it out. People who love art, you ever thought about doing a sipping paint, right? You just buy the supplies and roll that into the cost of the class. Another young lady just loves doing makeup. And I said, have you ever thought about having your own makeup line? And he's like, oh my God, where can I start? I don't know how to make makeup. You don't have to. There are places that will make the product and slap your label on it and wholesale ship them to you. A box of 1,000 mascaras for like some small amount of money that you just resell with your label on them, right? I mean, because it's like you're always on Instagram, you're always putting on makeup and giving tutorials and stuff like that. Like you should put your own makeup on and sell your makeup, and then run classes where you go around the city teaching young ladies how to put their makeup on correctly, right? It's just so many ideas come to me for when someone's telling me what they like to do or what they do. Like, you have all those Instagram followers or TikTok followers, you're telling people how to do your makeup, be an affiliate marketer.
Cool.
Partner with someone else, make money just for mentioning something to your followers.
Yes, great points. Great points. SJ, do you have anything you want to add?
I'm just taking notes because I haven't really dipped my toes into the entrepreneurial world yet, not really. So I'm just listening to the both of you, taking some notes, considering some things so that I can start my little process too. But I love the information. It's very helpful. And the one thing that I would say, which I've said before, I don't want to discourage anybody, not at all. But the type of person that I am, I'm just very pragmatic. So I really like and appreciate the fact, especially Cristina, and you too, Coach, that you are encouraging people to explore. And I just hear so many people talking about how they're an entrepreneur or they want to be an entrepreneur and they just want to dive in, jump in without any kind of plan, both feet first. And they think that, oh, I can't work for anybody, so I'm going to be my own boss. And I just know that it's a lot more difficult and a lot more complicated than this. So I think that it's so smart to plan ahead and to do a little bit of trial and error, do a little bit of experimentation, and know what you're getting yourself into. Because something that a lot of people do not admit is that working for yourself and having your own business is so much harder than working for somebody else. You don't ever get to put that down, let somebody else take care of it, walk away from it, take a break.
SJ?
To get your business off the ground and get it running. Yes.
Oh, no. I thought we had lost you for a second. I couldn't hear you for a second, but we definitely got with what you're saying. And that's kind of, as Cristina just mentioned in there, that's why the key to this thing that we keep mentioning is your kind of like your passion. What do you do? And I love what Christina said because I kind of tell people the same thing. She had mentioned earlier about, hey, if she has a headache, she still loves doing math. She still can go out there and go tutor. The headache is gone. And that's kind of what I tell younger people too. If, you know, if you're feeling bad, or you twist your ankle or you got a headache or whatever, or you got some bad news or something, what is it that will pick you up, that immediately pick you up? Is it cooking? Is it landscaping? Is it doing makeup, as Christina was saying? What is it that whatever you had going on an hour ago, you say, hey, I'm ready to get up and go do this? Then that's your passion. And so, like you're saying, SJ, yes, you want to be careful, make sure that you do these things, but if you already enjoy doing these things and attacking these things and taking it on a daily basis, then it's there. You just have to worry about doing those other things down the line as you start picking up clients, trying to see if you're going to brand it or get a LLC or put it in a trust or however you want to do it. But if it's something that you enjoy doing it, then all you have to do is try to monetize it. And once you monetize it, you basically completed 70% of the battle right there.
Absolutely, because you can hire people for the things you don't know, but you need the money to hire.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
So concentrate on what is it that you enjoy doing. Don't worry about the other things. Don't worry about, oh, well, it's going to be hard doing this, da da da. Just focus on what gives me that fire, what gives me that life, what lifts me up, what do I look forward to doing every day, or if I could do this every day. Concentrate on that first. And everything else, I guarantee you, will fall in line after that.
Oh, yes. I'm a big believer your gifts make room for you at the table.
Yes.
So absolutely. Well said. Well said.
All right. So does anybody else have anything on this topic? I think this was great.
And no, I'm good. Just want to remind people,
Mm-hmm.
don't keep waiting. Get started today. Make your list. Step one.
That's right. That's right. Make your list. And like I said, discover your passion. SJ, you have any last quotes or anything?
No, that's all I got for right now.
All right. Awesome. Well, with that being said, please like, share, and subscribe and comment to our channel if you love this content and what we bring to you. And please tell a friend, tell everybody, tell your dog, your cat, mouse, anybody that knows how to use a computer and get onto YouTube, log in, subscribe to our channel, and keep listening and leave your comments. So with that being said, we are done with this segment and we will see you on the next. Take care.